In this video, we're going to be talking about electromagnetic waves, and these are waves that don't require medium, things like light, microwaves, x-rays, talk about the properties of them, how they interact, and how they interact when it comes to changing through different media. All right, so let's take a look at the first type of things are waves in optics, and specifically electromagnetic waves. So the big equation that we're going to use that relate, so a wave looks something like this, right? This is a visual representation of a wave, and you can think of it like waves in the ocean. These could be sound waves. We're going to talk about a lot about electromagnetic waves, but it kind of has this shape here, right? And there's a few things you always want to look at on here. If this is like, let's say if this is a graph of position, right? If this is a graph of, say, the position of the wave, so this is like over time, and this is not time, but this is like the position of the wave at a given moment in time, right? So at a given moment in time, this is what the wave looks like. We have a few different terms. We talk about, like, you know how it repeats. We talk about this being the wavelength. There's also the frequency, and that is if you looked at the wave as a function of time. If you looked at over time, what would happen is this wave would move up and down, right? And so that's kind of what we think about. The wave is kind of up and down. And so as a function of time, this is really important to understand, is that when you're looking at a time, the distance from here to here for the wave to repeat, we call the period. T, which is the period. Okay? So one is like a physical, wavelength is like how far the spacings are between the waves. So again, I think the best analogy is think about ocean waves. Think about this is ocean wave. It's moving along. The physical distance between the peaks of the waves, that we call the wavelength. The period is at a given moment in time, how long does it take for that wave to come back to that spot? Okay? So period is a measurement of time. Wavelength is a measurement of distance. Okay? And the relationship between there is like, frequency, which is 1 over the period. Okay, 1 over the period, this is frequency. These are all parameters of the waves. And basically, how fast the wave moves is equal to the wavelength times the frequency. This is a key equation that we understand in terms of waves, is that if you take the wavelength times its frequency, it tells you in meters per second how fast the wave is moving. Okay? Now, what happens in a particular wave is, in terms of like physical properties, you want to think of the frequency is how the wave was created. This is immutable, as basically. The frequency of the wave cannot change no matter what happens. However, the wavelength and the speed certainly can change. So in terms of this formula, F is a fixed value. Once you've created a wave, it has a set frequency, and it's going to maintain that frequency no matter what happens to that wave. Okay? The things that can change are the velocity and the wavelength. And that happens when the wave enters a different medium. So there's different kinds of waves, and let's talk about the mediums. So different types of waves can travel through different mechanisms, basically. So mechanical waves, which used to be the subject of AP Physics 1, so some of you might have learned this, mechanical waves do require a physical medium to travel, like sound waves. Those are waves from my vocal cords making a sound going, and ocean waves require water as a physical medium. There has to be a physical substance in a mechanical wave. Electromagnetic waves do not require that. That means, like, if I'm in deep space, right, and there's no water, there's no air, sound waves can't travel, water waves can't travel, but electromagnetic waves can travel. Electromagnetic waves are like microwaves, your Wi-Fi signals, radio signals, light itself, like light from the sun, light from your light bulbs. Those are called all electromagnetic waves. They do not require a physical medium to travel through. Okay? So electromagnetic are just special kinds of waves that are like those examples that I kind of just listed here. Now, in mechanical waves, there's two different kinds of, so that's the distinction between mechanicals and electromagnetic waves. Mechanical waves require a physical medium like air or water or some physical substance. Electromagnetic waves do not. Okay. There's also two kinds of, there's some terminology here I want you to understand. Longitudinal waves. Those are waves where the medium moves perpendicular to the direction of the motion. So if you think about like water waves in the ocean, the wave looks like it's moving left to right. But if you were to look at someone on the boat, like sitting there in the, like if you're in the ocean, what happens when you're in the waves is you would move up and down. The water itself moves up and down, but the wave moves left and right. Okay, that's called a hang on. Okay, that's called a transverse wave. I actually have this backwards. This is perpendicular. I'll fix that in the notes. Parallel. Okay, transverse waves are like the ocean waves. Like the water itself moves up and down, but the water travels left to right. Like the wave travels left to right, but the water itself is only going up and down. Whereas longitudinal waves are waves where in the wave travels left to right and the medium is going left and right. So sound waves do this. Have you ever seen a slinky? There's like a demo of like this slinky wave that goes left to right, and the wave travels left to right. So if the wave, so that's just some terminology. If the material itself moves in the same direction, parallel to the direction of the wave, then it's called a longitudinal wave. Okay. For electromagnetic waves, like I said, there's no medium needed to travel. They always move at the speed of light c. Speed of light can change, but in vacuum, speed of light is 3 times 10 to the 8 meters per second. You don't need to memorize that. And there's a term called polarized light, where light moves in a single plane. That's just sort of a definitional term. So there's a lot of definitional terms. There's not honestly a lot to calculate for electromagnetic waves. A lot of these are just sort of conceptual, definitional type things. So, yeah, let's just take a look at some things you can do with this equation. A wave with a frequency of 100 kilohertz is traveling through a medium at a speed of 20 meters per second. It then enters a medium where the speed drops to 15 meters per second. How does the frequency and the wavelength of the wave change? Okay, so the frequency never changes. So, before, the frequency is 100 kilohertz, and after it enters this new medium, it's still 100 kilohertz, okay? Because that's a function of how the wave was produced. However, the wavelength will change because the velocity changes. It's v, if I just rearrange this, v over f, so this would be 20 over 100, right? And that's 0.2 meters. And here the wavelength would be 15 over 100, which is 0.15 meters. So the wavelength reduced by 0.05 meters. So it got shorter wavelength, and then that's why it slowed down. But the frequency didn't change. Okay. Example 2. Red light has a wavelength of about 700 nanometers. Blue light has a wavelength of about 450 nanometers. How does the frequency of the two lights compare? Assume the speed of light is this. So again, UV equals lambda f. So the frequency is equal to v over lambda. So for red light, this is going to be 3 times 10 to the 8 meters per second divided by 700 nanometers. 700 times 10 to the negative 9 meters. Okay. So we look at this, 3e8. Yeah. It's 1.43 times 10 to the 14 hertz. Okay. And for blue light, it's going to be 3 times 10 to the 8th divided by 450 nanometers. So it's going to be, this is going to have a higher frequency, right? .67 times 10 to the 14 hertz, right? Because if it has a smaller denominator, it's going to end up with a bigger. So that's it. That's pretty much all the only kinds of calculations you pretty much do with that equation. Sometimes you might be asked to look at a graph and understand what the wavelength and the period are from the graph of the information. So hopefully you remember how to do that from your pre-calculus kind of information. But it's the physical distances, depending on whether you see position or time as the measurement for the spacing between the waves. All right.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, just to improve the quality of the channel so that it shows up more so we can share this out with more and more students out there. The other thing is if you do need extra help, if you're needing maybe some more practice questions, more guidance on multiple choice questions, we do have program options to help you practice. Also run office hours. I answer questions for students, things like that. A little bit more just structured guidance. If you feel like you're needing some of that, go ahead and click the description below. There will be a link that takes you to a website where you can see about how the different programs operate for all the AP Physics and AP Calculus programs we run.